maybe the current state of the meta that we see at, for example, the Summit?
Yeah, it's kind of different when you play against known teams. Like, for example, when we played against Yellow Submarine, they first banned Broodmother.
Yeah.
And they don't know any of our players. They don't know if any of us are good at Broodmother. But it's more, what kind of heroes do you think could impact the game the most, even though maybe the team isn't as good? So you want to try and stop upsets. So Wagamama's team, they actually lost to a Drew Aura strat. So that'd be something else to look out for in the draft. Like, just kind of cheesy, fun strats.
Talking about cheesy fun strats, how often do you see a Tusk first pick?
Actually not very often,
Not
Sheever.
very often. I wonder why.
Into Jakiro Darkseer Earthshaker, that is pretty terrifying. So if you make a mistake with your snowball, there's going to be a macro pyre and an ice path waiting for you.
And an Echo Slam and a Sonic Wave?
And there's a lot of AoE damage.
The wombo combo potential from this Dire team is actually very scary. At the same time, who's going to be in the snowball with the Tusk? Because Mirana's not. She doesn't want to be in the fight. Dazzle doesn't want to be in the fight.
I think it's more defensive against the Queen of Pain and the Earthshaker. Like, it's just an all-round amazing defensive spell, especially with the changes to snowball. So you can, while you're traveling, you can actually just pick up people along the way.
So wombo combo for Dire team, not.
If played correctly, it could completely counteract the whole strategy. Yeah.
We've seen a lot of Darkseer lately. Actually, I've been undecided whether I like that or not.
Well, especially if you have melee farmers in the safe lane, it can cause a lot of trouble. And if they only do, like, some teams can be very greedy and they pick, say, a jungler like Chen or Enigma, and it punishes that really, really well because, you know, one support isn't enough to zone out a Darkseer. Sheever actually came up with a great idea the other day with a support hero.
If you're going to be up against a Darkseer, just get a Crystal Maiden and Frostbite all the Iron Shelled creeps, and if you have one Clarity with you, perhaps two, just in case, and level your aura at level 2, then you should not have any problem with dealing with a Darkseer, and you should also still be able to harass him away from the lane so that he doesn't get levels very fast.
Yeah, if you look at their bans, it's actually kind of interesting. They're trying to just, like, for example, the Dire's bans are kind of, they're quite, like, Undying Gyrocopter are pretty much that's what every game seems to involve, those two heroes. Then you have Axe and Broodmother. They're both kind of lane dominant heroes.
Yeah, and just annoying to deal with, especially in the Broodmother case.
And the push as well. They're trying to stop because the thing we struggled with the most when playing against Yellow Submarine was Dragonite, and strategies revolving around Dragonite and his just constant pressure and push. Like, they just wait till 15 minutes. They get, you know, arcane boots up on a few heroes, and then they can just nearly push forever. Juggernaut. Oh my god.
Juggernaut last pick for one good, one dumb.
Yeah, I like it. what did you say?
One good, one dumb. I'm gonna keep that. I don't think it mean that. By the way, the Dire team, 1G, 1D, is actually a team that I believe we've been told is consisting of players mostly from the FACEIT Pro League. Like, they found each other there.
Cool.
That is actually
that is
cool.
very legit. Yeah.
I read that on your PC, by the way. So.
Well, it's not my Skype, so she was logged in, and I didn't want to. When they have gone for the Drew strategy. It's actually very powerful, the Dragonite ulti, because the aura affects it. So if they're going for an early push, oh man, their push is disgusting.
I mean, not just that. I mean, Dazzle. Think of the harass. Normally, Dazzle is considered as a safe. A safe support. You can harass quite decently. But if you compare it, for example, to a Witch Doctor, the right clicks of a Witch Doctor do a lot more than the right clicks of a Dazzle. Yeah. Well, with the draw aura, you know, good luck with that. That's actually actually really strong.
They also have the Roche potential as well because they have a lot of ranged heroes, and they have Dazzle, and the Tuskar Frozen Sigil is also very, very powerful for Roshan.
I actually hope that we're going to see Druid, who is playing Dazzle, build something like a medallion in this game to help with that minus armor, because that could really be super helpful also against Juggernaut.
Right, can you introduce the Radiant for me, Sheever?
Yeah, and it would also be good if he then upgrades it
to the Super Solar Crest.
Yes, to the Solar Crest, and then puts it on the Dragonite.
Yeah, it's actually very powerful.
That is he already has so much base armor to begin with, and then plus the extra armor and the evasion.
When I was watching Secret last night, when Puppy was playing Chen, he'd actually go medallion, and not for the offensive use of the medallion, just to put on his core heroes, and so for the push, like for the early game push, like on the Viper, for example.
Yeah, let's take a look at who's playing for VV, or who we have dubbed to very voluptuous, or very versatile. I guess very versatile is probably more friendly.
Well,
very versatile.
Being voluptuous isn't an insult.
Being voluptuous is not an insult. This is true. So we have got 778 who has been who's playing the Tusk, first pick Tusk, and it looks like it's going to be a support Tusk, so that's going to be interesting to watch.
Wait,
You what?
Aren't they the Dire? Or wait,
what?
No, 1G 1D is Dire.
Yes. So you what? I was going to say something else, but that's the Dragon Knight. I really like his name. He's going mid, no surprises there. And Finny Tinny playing the Mirana. Looks like he's going to be the one to take up that off lane. Looks also like he's going to be doing that all by his lonesome. While on the bottom lane, Darkness, everybody Darkness playing the Drow Ranger. And that leaves us only the Dazzle player, which we already kind of introduced. Druid will be taking on the Dazzle and already looks to be... looks to be gonna roam here with the Tusk.
Yeah,
they have a smoke in their inventory as well, so this is gonna be an active game, I think.
If you look at the Dire starting in the bottom lane, we have Mikey playing the Darkseer. This is gonna be up against a solo Drow for the moment, by looks of it. Then in mid, we have Tib on his Queen of Pain against Dragon Knight, who actually went extremely greedy with his item choices. He just went 2 branches and a pool tango, and he's actually just straight up rushing the bottle. It's pretty. And then Stiles on his Earthshaker. He seems to be just stacking up camps in the Dire jungle. Sirin on his Jakiro.
Oh, in comes the first snowball already up on Sirin. He's going to be in a world of pain right there. That's going to be your first blood on board. And Tusk gets it. With the heal coming out as well.
That's neat little
arrow
combo
following
there.
up. I mean, it's also a setup for an arrow. I didn't even think about that.
If you think about Tusk and Dazzle, like you're not going to expect them to roam so early.
No.
You know, you're going to expect Dazzle just to be bottom, and look at the amount of pressure the Darkseer is putting on bottom. On Darkness, everybody Darkness. Oh my.
Oh, he really misses his supports right now.
But even if you sent Dazzle down, there's only so much a Dazzle can do against the Darkseer bit.
Yeah, so far they're just focusing on winning all the other lanes.
Yeah.
By the way, last one. Sorry for interrupting you, but of course Lakao, or rather Laukio, will be playing the
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut.
And they're looking for something mid as well.
Oh, they are. But look at the counter gank already being ready there as Darkseer is able to take out the Drow Ranger on that bottom lane. I'm still waiting for that snowball. There it is. Druid gets put into it. Blink away. Tip was very much aware from that ice path. Misses the 2, but the Fisher does not. The scream comes out as well. They're going for the Tusker and should be able to take him down as well.
They denied him.
Running, but he should be fine.
Okay, that was very, very well played by 1G, 1D. They knew exactly what was coming. They read them perfectly.
I feel so sorry for this Drow Ranger. I think she's going to die again. I mean, there's really nothing that she can do. She has already used her Gauss.
Oh, Mikey actually attacked her instead of just clicking on her?
Yep, and that means that the tower came out. And Tusk is going to come here to help. Then Mikey does not have a teleport scroll. He has to be careful. He has got a surge though. And perhaps he's going to be making it out alive. But the snowball's still following him. There he comes. Is there anything extra? He doesn't get level 2 yet, so he doesn't have anything. But he does have boots. And that might be enough. But Mikey has got another surge. Can he actually do it? He has to stand still for a second. And that will put Dazzle in range for that last right click. And that also puts Tusk to level 2.
Yeah, but if you have a look at middle lane for the Radiant, like Dragon Knight against Quap, especially with the starting items, Quap went for the Null Talisman and 2 branches, so she has just like so much base damage and can easily harass the Dragon Knight with the Shadow Strike. It's a very difficult lane for any Dragon Knight. But then, like, honestly, I think Dragon Knight just needs levels and a small amount of farm with the Dragon Breath. And if he can group up with his team and push early game, especially with the Dazzle heal. Oh, Mikey in the bottom lane.
In some trouble. He's gonna have to walk around the ice. Still get silenced up. Can't surge for now. He's slowed by the arrows, and he is now gonna surge. And he should be fine. No iron shell.
On the.
Oh. Wow. That was very scary for Darkness. Everybody Darkness. I mean, in a way, this Darkseer is doing exactly what is being expected of him. He's making sure that those supports are gonna be busy bottom lane.
I'd say Darkness, everybody Darkness just like cried out to his supports and was like, guys, you can't gank me anymore. You need to help me. I
know that feel. Of the supports.
As in you getting just shouted at by your carry?
Yes, basically that.
I really like their choice to send the Mirana's getting a lot top lane. He's nearly level 5 just because of that early gank on Jakiro. He's doing really, really well. It's quite difficult to zone him out as well.
Yeah. Has got leap. Arrow level 2 actually. Interesting item build or interesting skill build.
But then look at Earthshaker Stiles. He's sacrificed himself very much.
He's still level 1, close to level 2, but he stole the experience from the Queen of Pain, who is leaping after the Mirana. Mirana leaped away, rather. Pops the south, but it's not going to be enough. One more right click. What's this? He actually lives for the moment. Has gone down now. Snowball coming in, but Tusk I don't think he's gonna... Well, he has a double damage rune. He might be able to do something here. The blink away from Queen of Pain can happen, but Queen of Pain still gets a kill before blinking into the hands of Druid, who kind of didn't know what he was seeing there.
I think he kind of panicked.
He kind of panicked, I think so too. And this Druid can't get the heal. A couple more extra clicks needed. Tip does not have a blink, and you what, mate, comes in with the breath and gets
His name isn't you what, mate.
I know, but it's so nice to want to say that. It's like...
Yeah, that's a pretty key kill on Dragon Knight as well.
Yes.
Oh, that was an extremely nice Fisher. Like, the thing Dragon Knight needs is just a few early levels. Get level 6, get his threads, maybe his bottle up, and then they can just push his 5 with the Dazzle heal. I really like the Tuskar pick in this draft as well, because... You know, for example, later on in the game, if you want to focus the Drow Ranger, but if you have the Tuskar backup behind them, they're never going to be able to do it if they play it correctly. It's really... Oh, Mikey.
Yeah, he's going for this. The search is already on, but then comes the Snowball still. Is he able to stop him? No, he's not. Drow Ranger will get picked off, and Mikey can probably just get out. He still has a Soul Ring. He still has a Surge. He is 100% fine. Snowball is on cooldown for 9
though,
seconds.
securing helping Quap get a kill on the Dragon Knight mid, actually giving Stiles level 3 from that, because he was only level 1.
He was still level 1.
Yeah,
that's very important actually. As you said, Dragon Knight level 6 is when he really starts being the scary one, and like he needs levels per se, not items. And if you can kill him still with that, oh, there's a leap available though, Omni Slash. However, nice kill, and that's Juggernaut's first kill as well. Juggernaut, by the way, farming really nicely, and actually everybody on a 1G, 1D is farming really well.
Yeah.
They have the top highest and last hits, and in terms of net worth, which is in this game, I mean, there's a lot of kills going on.
They're not actually farming that well, though.
They're farming a lot better. Look at net worth. It's
no,
a
but
big
like
difference.
30 last hits in 6 minutes isn't...
No, but considering all the action that's been happening.
That's true. But
and compared to their Radiant opponents.
I would have expected maybe Juggernaut to have more. Oh, that's that little... creep or whatever it is, the summon, it confuses me every time. I see it and my eyes kind of race after it. I don't know.
Oh, Ice Bath, Mirana has got a leap available. We'll be able to get to the other side.
Yeah, the problem's going to be Mikey on his Darkseer. If he gets the mech and the arcane boots up early, that's going to be so much pressure put on their team. He's
already pretty far towards his mechanism, and he's higher farmed than the Dragon. Actually, still, the 3 cores of the Dire team are higher net worth than the 3 cores.
Yeah, they pick their draft to win the lanes though. Like Queen of Pain into the Dragon Eye, you know it's gonna be pretty a secure lane. Especially when Earthshaker played the way he did, he kind of stayed behind him and constantly protected him.
So what do you think that the Radiant should do? I mean, they've been trying to get kills, and to be honest, they've been succeeding at the start, but in the end they give more kills than they take. So it's 3 to 7. Like, what's the game plan? Because I feel like this was a game plan for the Radiant team to just be very aggressive and snowball off the back of that.
They just need a few core items, like maybe an urn on Druid, get him level 6. The Drow Ranger just needs a small amount of farm, and then all they have to do is just push us 4 with the Dragon Knight, with the constant heal on Dazzle, and then get a few objectives, because they need to start pushing these towers. Like when you pick a Dragon Knight, you pick it to push towers, and if you look at mid tower, it's only lost 25 life. Like, it's not ideal.
Oh, looks like Mikey might be in some trouble soon. Looks like the Tusk wants to get a Snowball in. He gets the Ice Shard. Very well played there, actually. Snowball still coming in as well. Is there enough damage though? The wall actually comes out, and Druid and a vacuum. Silence, but I'm not sure if that's enough. Tusk already has to run away. Oh, darkness, everybody, darkness. Ran through the wall, and in comes Tip with the Sonic Wave. The only one that lives through that is Tip, who was able to walk away.
Holy crap, that play from Mikey. He knew exactly the limits of the hero.
Yeah.
Using the early walls. It does a deceptive amount of damage.
I mean, it used to be that if you played Darkseer, you didn't spec your wall until you were level 10 so that you can get level 2 straight away.
But that early 150 damage is
insane.
It's pretty crazy, yeah.
And I mean, imagine if this wall was placed somewhere near the tower.
Yeah.
It basically secures that you have that wall up for the entire push because it lasts so long.
Especially if later on in the game, if he gets the level 16 Dragon Knight ulti, having that illusion alone is so powerful. Oh, look at Tib with the Invis rune going on everybody, darkness, everybody.
Well, he's ready for it. He is waiting for some backup though. He has not got a Sonic Wave, and the gust coming out is still scary.
He doesn't actually know where the supports are as well, and if you look at top, they're trying to go on Juggernaut.
Here comes the Fisher, Snowball coming out though, looking for Stiles, and there is no Omni Slash available. There's no mana for Laukio, and they're still trying to go on Stiles, but indeed the healing ward just keeps him safe. Dragon Knight actually coming into the top lane to try and help out, but not
I
needed.
think they want to group up and maybe get an objective.
We kind of maybe have to, but at the same time, this mid tower is going to suffer for that. And yeah, well, at least Dry Ranger gets some free farm.
Yeah, I think Darkness Everybody Darkness is so happy with this right now.
Yeah.
He is 0-3-1. He is not exactly having the best time. He has a decent amount of last hits considering the amount of pressure he was under. You know, he has 40 last hits. It's not nowhere near free farm, but ooh, they're trading towers in the wrong way on the Dragon
They're not
Knight team.
even trading.
Yeah,
They're
that's
not
what
trading
I
at
mean.
all.
Like Dragon Knight's team should be the ones pressuring the towers, but it's in turn the Jakiro and the Dire.
Well, this Dragonite rotated top about a minute ago. Has not been able to get anything. In the meantime, they lost their tier 1 tower middle. And now there are 4 people of the Dire team coming up the river.
God.
They're gonna smoke up, or they were smoked up. They find a Tusk who's trying to run away from this arrow, still flying out, still hits upon the Jakiro. That's something. Snowball coming in. A wall, oh, perfect wall though, still. Cannot enter the river anymore. Dragon Knight stuck in the frost as well. Dust getting popped out there. No Moonlight Shadow for you, and I think this is gonna be a bloodbath. It is the Radiant team that has to flee. Even Darkness, everybody Darkness came in and basically came in to die. He's the last one that survives here, but there's nothing he can do.
That was it seemed like the Radiant were just all over the place. They
Yep.
tried to force a fight top when they didn't really have any key items. When then a Darkseer got the mechanism off in the fight, he got his wall. They have the Jakiro Liquid Fire constantly on them. It's and the healing ward on top of that to push. Like, I really don't think you want to fight yet. Like they drafted the Drow strategy, and Drow needs early space and early farm to kind of get up them core items. Every time you see a Drow strategy, it can't lose from the start because you pick to win your lanes. So you have the right click damage in your lane.
Oh my god, they're gonna try again. That Ice Path, Dragonite does not have his Dragon form. He actually got put in a snowball as well. The Breath Fire still coming out, and they were still able to kill up the Earthshaker, but I don't think they're gonna get any more. Juggernaut should be able to teleport out safely, and Seren, the only one that's still trying to fly away, is gonna teleport out right behind the trees. There is no Dragon until yet. 1 second. No, he's out.
Yeah, that's pretty huge actually. And the only one that dies is Earthshaker, and they get 2 tower, like one tower. Oh, I don't even know. It's a very difficult situation for the Radiant, especially when you look at Darkseer and how much gold he has. He has 2,000 gold, so if he wants to go for that Blink Dagger to initiate, or even just the Guardian Greaves, just so they can literally go high ground with that item. I think it's so powerful.
We're 12 minutes into the game, and our supports that were roaming earlier, the Dazzle and the Tusk, are both still level 4. Now compare that to the support that was pulling and stacking all game long and hanging on top lane and protecting the Juggernaut, for example. The Jakiro, level 7. This is brilliant, it's great. But at the same time, his net worth and his items, they're on par with the Dragonite. There's 200 gold difference, which is basically nothing. Of course, the towers help. I mean, they are 4 towers up compared to the Radiant team, which is a big difference. And actually, looks like Vivi is going to smoke up.
This seems like another desperation smoke again, though. Like, they're not farming bottom lane, they're not farming mid lane. Then if you look at the Dire, Mikey's like, what is he going to buy now? He still has 2,000 gold. This is going to be a very difficult. Do you have to kill maybe Quap or Juggernaut before the fight even starts?
Quap is not the easiest to take, though. I mean, okay. The smoke ran out, and they actually think it's the real one, and that means that that gank is pushed. So these smoke ganks are not working out. But can you please tell me, how is Vivi gonna still come back? Because they need to get something. And it doesn't look like they're gonna get this tower because they are already mounting up a defense here for the Dire team.
They have the right idea now, though. They're pushing the towers, but the problem is they don't have any items. Like, the Tuskar doesn't even have finished boots. Like, they have wraith bands and power treads. Then you compare that to mechanisms and blink daggers on the Dire, like Mask of Madness. I don't know. It's gonna be a tough one. I think basically they need to just get as much farm as possible, like split up and not group up together, because I don't think they can win a fight with the mechanism and Darkseer right now. Okay, so they're sitting behind Dragonite and he's just kind of pinging on the tower.
Yeah, arrow flying out as well. Will not hit. Close though for that.
I think it's probably for the best that arrow didn't hit.
Otherwise you think they would have ran in?
Yeah, it's like, we got this, guys, let's go.
Oh, well, in the meantime, they might be pressuring the tier 1 top. It is the Juggernaut that... I mean, he's got 4 kills, don't get me wrong, but basically he only fought when they came towards him, towards the top lane, and other than that, he's like, just leave me alone, I'm farming here. And he's just having the time of his life.
But that was maybe like 3-4 minutes of time where the Radiant all spent grouped up in the top lane watching a Dragonite click a tower, while Juggernaut was pushing bottom and the Darkseer was farming the jungle a little bit as well. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Darkseer, he's just going for this. The wall might be slightly off mark, but perhaps it can still do something here. Dragonite Vacuum is on cooldown. The Ice Path, though, coming out, and that will stop the TP. Dust coming out, no Moonlight Shadow to keep him safe, and a great pick-off again for the Dire team.
Look at Earthshaker's items, Sheever. He's got 2 bracers and a magic stick. I guess he's worried about just getting completely bursted in the team fight.
Well, he doesn't really need to have a Blink Dire yet, right? So far, it's always been... Like, he was able to walk in on it because the Darkseer is setting things up for him.
Yeah, exactly.
The Jakiro is setting things up for him. And as long as, like, he is going to be the one, together with the Jakiro, who, by the way, has, as a hero, a really great strength gain, so he's a very tanky hero.
Yeah,
like, they're the easiest kills. If you stop them from killing supports, what can they get?
Yeah. And I guess they have the Surge as well, they'll initiate with Echo Slam.
Oh, that as well, yeah. True.
Now, with this Roshan on Juggernaut, I'm not even sure. Like, they're just going to push so aggressively. And Juggernaut's going to be on the front line. He's going to have Healing Ward after you do a bit of damage to him.
No, he just wants to go back to farming.
I think they're going to push bottom, no?
Juggernaut's top creeps. Couldn't resist. Oh, Quap with an Invis rune. There's a nice Observer Ward, by the way, here. On the... from the Dire side, on the Radiant side. Yep. Scouting everybody there from
Okay,
VV.
so Tuskus finishes Phase Boots. So it's a happy time for him. They have Arcane. Okay, so Dragonite's going for the Shadow Blade. Now,
looks like it.
I kind of...
Is not the smartest decision. They're always going to carry detection. Oh, they're going to come in here for this Dragonite. Dragontail Vacuum is safe for this time, though. And I mean, they're carrying detection because they need to be able to deal with the Mirana ultimate. And we've seen them carrying detection, actually, from the moment that Mirana reached level 6.
I think you use it to initiate, though. And when you're behind, trying to get pick-offs is one of the best ways to come back.
Yeah.
So if you can surprise them with the Dragontail stun, I think
it might be something.
It's a good effort anyway. Now this is DD in the bottle of Co-op. He is 5-1-8. Tib is wrecking. We have Mikey on his Darkseer as well, 5-2-4. This is...
So Shane.
Yes.
We played against Yellow Submarines yesterday.
We did.
How do you think that 1G, 1D would do up against them?
Well, it's quite difficult to say, but honestly, 1G, 1D look very strong. They made some really nice decisions. Even when their tower was getting pressured top, they didn't all TP. You know, they waited, they split push, they got more farm and Juggernaut. They applied the pressure themselves. They look quite. Oh, what? Did he not use Omni Slash on? Okay, that was weird. So Juggernaut Omni Slash the
Creeper?
No, the Drow to try and stop the TV, but he actually used it on a creep instead. So, wait, that doesn't mini stun anymore, doesn't it? Now? They removed the mini stun, didn't they?
Did they? I think they did.
Yeah. Okay. You obviously forgot, because I forgot as well.
Yeah. Well.
Good effort.
Good effort, and I mean, it's not. How much does it matter? It matters that Drow can actually farm, but so far she still is like the Wraithband Queen, with Treads, and that's about it.
She's level 11 though, so she does get the second point in her marksmanship.
Yes, and which actually helps Mirana a lot. Now the thing about Mirana is we saw her at the start of the game. By the way, we have another smoke up for VV, so we'll see how that ends up working out for them. But we had Mirana doing very well at the start. She got first blood as well. Actually, it was a dazzle, but it was on the top lane with her being present for it, and she's not been having as much contribution to the game as I was hoping she would have. I mean, obviously, you want to try and stop Juggernaut from farming, but once you realize that you can't stop Juggernaut from farming, should there be maybe more rotation coming out from her at the start?
For the Mirana, it's very difficult to rotate on the Dire team though.
Yes.
Like they have a Queen of Pain in middle who's very, very mobile.
Oh, they find Saren. Is there a Dragon Seal? Oh, nice 4-staff.
Yeah, it was a
and a Fisher coming out. Oh, this might be bad. There's a vacuum perhaps up on 3 into the wall. Nice path. Down they go. Down they go. Yule Scepter up in the air. 7-7-8. He's dead too. And Mirana, or rather Drow Ranger, she wasn't even there for the fight. Good for her, by the way, because she's the only one that lives to tell the tale.
Savior kill that ratio.
Yep.
Or well,
it's not great to begin with, but it could have been way worse, you know.
Infinity.
I mean, this is gonna cost them racks.
Oh man, I still think the Tusk and Dazzle sure got the first blood, but after that they just left the Drow hanging out to dry.
Yeah.
And giving Darkseer such early farm allowed him to get the mechanism, and he came to the top fight. All of a sudden, it's very difficult to win fights. They have no burst damage really on the Radiant either, so even if they're behind, they have no way of just like picking off a hero. Like, sure, Drow does a lot of
Nice punch.
He still has the Aegis on.
He still has the Aegis. Doesn't have mana yet for his ultimate, but He'll wait with the Aegis for that
Oh.
vacuum there, and that's enough to kill off the Tusk. Dry Ranger, oh, came in too close. Will get healed up. There is a grave available as well. Dragon Tail
The
coming out of the
Dazzler.
Darkseer, and look at that. They finally get themselves 2 kills on board as Mirana was able to Starstorm the Earthshaker down, but did pay for that with her life. Bought back into the game though.
Omni Slash is up though.
Yeah, Juggernaut is already hit down with his Aegis.
Yeah, he actually,
Well, that
okay,
should've
so
come
what, the Dazzle ulti was on them for so long that when the Dragonite and Drow were clicking,
Yeah, on the
They-
Darkseer
yeah,
in this
they
case, yeah.
did so much damage. And also, Juggernaut died to the tower because of the Darkseer ulti. You have to watch out for that. It just slowly ticks away
Yeah.
at your armor. But it's still quite a commanding position for the Dire.
I'm actually surprised that they weren't able to take full in Iraq. They got maybe kind of greedy and
Well, they
rotated.
split up in the team
Yeah.
fight. They left someone mid, like Darkseer was just chilling mid, whereas the Juggernaut was top with the Earthshaker. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were just like, ah, whatever. We can just push all the rest at once.
They didn't use Omni Slash that fight, by the way.
No, Juggernaut backed off. You remember he used the top to try and cancel the TP?
Yeah, yeah.
So they didn't have it when they were pushing. Okay, so this is the Shadow Blade up on Dragonite now. He's level 11. He's just about to finish his Shadow Blade. It's like, okay, let's try and get some aggressive wards. Okay, so Druid places a ward there. Because what they need is extremely aggressive wards to try and get pickoffs with, say, the Dragonite and maybe Tusk or something like that. Because they do a lot of damage with the Drow Aura. Like it's an extra, what is it? Extra 50 damage. It's pretty substantial. So he's doing like nearly 200 damage a hit.
Yep, and if you count with that
The poison as well on top of that.
the poison and of course the minus armor from Dazzle,
Yeah.
if it ticks through, then that's gonna hurt a lot. But they do need to find these moments where they can actually win the fight, and most important, where they're not team fought, because at this point they need pickups, as you said, and they can't afford to get themselves baited into a team fight, which is going to be really difficult, and that's going to make vision all the more important, because if you know where your team is, you can at least avoid that and maybe get a pickup on someone who's, you know, solo by himself.
Yeah,
Which at the moment is only the Darkseer.
And it's very, very difficult to kill a Darkseer with a Blink Dagger and max
Yep.
level Surge.
Oh, Tusk heals up into the air. I don't think he's going to make it out of this alive. He has got nothing, actually. I thought maybe he has a snowball to delay his death. Maybe give some time for his teammates to come in and help him, but no side block.
1G, 1D are playing amazing. Okay, so Watts uses Shadow Blade and he's going out for a try and get a pick. Nice play. And the arrow misses.
Oh, use up in the air still there as well, and that's going to be Jakiro for staffing out. He's still probably going to take down from the poison. The mechanism comes out a little bit too late, but they got the Dragonite in return, which is definitely a worthy trade right there. And I think with this healing ward, I mean the Omni Slash is on cooldown right now, but
The
I think
Dazzle
with this
ulti's
healing
ticking
ward,
away.
they can probably go to higher ground though.
Oh
still.
yeah, definitely. I'm just trying to
You're
sell
trying
it
to, yeah.
a little bit. It's
I mean,
very
they-
difficult.
They have to have basically everything going right for them, and it's not impossible. I mean, obviously, if it was impossible, they would probably have called GG
Okay,
right
so when
now,
I
but
look at the Radiance team, they only have single target damage.
yes.
They have a Tuskar Punch, which is probably the most single target spell in the game. He literally punches one unit. We have Drow, who only right clicks, Dragonite, who has I guess, Dragon Breath, and a single target stun and a single target DPS as well. But then when you look at the Radiant, they have so much control with Darkseer and Earthshaker, just them two alone.
Nice pass, and
And
yeah.
Jakiro on top of that. Then on top of that, you have Queen of Pain, like, and they do the right click damage as well. It just seems like their draft is so much more all around. Like there was a point in the game when, sure, at the early game the Radiant looked very strong, but then when it comes into later, when they have the mechanism of when they have the double blink, which is about to come on the Earthshaker here, like I don't know what you can do. Like the snowball is a kind of it's a cute trick, but I don't know if it's enough.
yeah, by the way, it feels like it's so much later into this game, and it's only 23 minutes in, and I mean, Earthshaker might not have the fastest Blink Dagger, if you take into consideration how his team does, but Earthshaker in this game was basically the sacrificial lamb, because Jakiro bought some wards, but definitely was getting farm priority over the Earthshaker, so.
Yeah, he was kind of camping mid, protecting
Yeah.
Queen of Pain, which you were saying, you know, they were trying to rotate on mid. Never mind that.
Yeah.
They were trying to rotate on mid to try and shut down Queen of Pain, but if Earthshaker's sitting behind, there's no way you kill Queen of Pain.
Oh, hey, you know what the fun part is? Remember what I said at the start of the game? I hope that the Dazzle's gonna go for a medallion. He has a medallion!
Yay!
Yay!
So they
It's
can
a star.
push with the Dragon Knight. Well,
Solar Crest, please.
it's
I don't know if that's enough though, but you're absolutely right. It's mostly single target damage for the Radiant team, so pickoffs vision is basically key.
But then the Dire just de-ward every single ward. They have one ward remaining on the map, the Radiant, and it's sitting on top of their little cliff, which is not exactly the most offensive ward in the world.
True. They have, I mean, they have Moonlight Shadow to maybe circumvent some wards, but it's...
With this Roshan as well, I think this might be the...
nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say it, but yeah. Nail in the coffin.
It's... I mean...
I really I don't like saying games are, you know...
It's really difficult to come back.
It's difficult.
And it's not just that they have to play everything perfectly, and they are going to try and smoke up and try to make something happen. But they also have to hope that the Radiant team, or rather the Dire team, makes some mistakes in their positioning.
Sure, they can do a lot of damage to one person with their single target damage. But they
Back off, run.
They don't have any BKBs. They don't have any sort of control. The only thing they have is Arrow and Dragonite, Dragon Tail.
Yeah, well, they smoked up. They were too late. Maybe they could have, if they were earlier, perhaps they could have tried to sneak a Roche. But at the same time, it is so obvious when they're missing from their base, because they have the lane on mid lane pushing in, and they have top lane also sometimes pushing in. So they can't really leave for that much time. They do have the medallion, so perhaps they could have killed it fast enough. But for the moment, well, they're gonna have to go back to base defense.
So I think the way you catch someone out here is you have to hit the Arrow of Destiny, and Dragonite has to Shadow Blade in and do the Shadow Blade down. And you have to kill either Earthshaker or Darkseer before
breathe fire way too early.
Before they can get their spells off. They just can siege with the liquid fire.
Oh, they hit the arrow already on the Juggernaut. This might be it, but the vacuum in the wall comes out. Dragonite pops the Shadow Blade, tries to run away. Has got a copy of himself hitting on the tower, the one like you said. Copies of him. That's really, really painful. They were able to kill it off, but the tower is already close to going down. Another Dragon Tail coming out, and this Juggernaut actually, minus armor, Aegis gets dropped. He still has the Omni Slash up, by the way. He also has got himself a Scotty picked up. Tries to run again. They were able to take down the tower. And now there's no tier 3 towers left anymore. Ice Path coming out. Sonic Wave from the side as well. Moonlight Shadow is used. It looks like the Radiant team will want to fight, but I don't think they should. And they back off indeed. They use all the spells, but Juggernaut really again. Maybe the vacuum into the Echo Slam though, into the Ice Path, into Macro Fire. In comes the Snowball, but I don't think it's gonna be doing anything right there. It is gonna be Dragonite dropping, as well as the Darkness. Everybody Darkness. Well, at least for him, it's very much Darkness. Oh, he buys back into the light. The Directs are still standing, so perhaps they can still make something happen here. They were able to kill the Earthshaker in the Omni Slash though, still wasn't used. In comes Tip also with the Scream of Pain, killing off the Tusk, and there also goes the Drow Ranger. The GG is called.
Oh god, that was a hard game. I
think it was a very hard game.
When they rotated early with their smokes and got nothing from them, while the Dire farmed the entire map. Yeah, I think they needed more aggressive wards and more focus on where they were going.
Definitely. I mean, something needed to change, obviously. I think it's mostly, like the laning stage was pretty good.
Yeah.
Overall, it was,
well, except for Darkseer.
Yeah. But I mean, the start. I mean, they got first blood. Their idea was good.
Yeah.
I think they picked Drow after Darkseer was picked, though.
Yeah.
Dare I say that they picked Drow last. So they should have been aware that a Drow cannot lane against a Darkseer. Like, there's...
It's not very pretty.
No, it's not pretty. So were they already expecting to rotate 2 supports back bottom and think that they could do something? Basically, for example, start off top, get a first blood top, rotate mid, get a kill mid, and then rotate to base or to the bottom lane to help out.
I think by the time you rotated the boys bottom, it was already too late. Because the Darkseer already level 3. Yeah. And then your supports are level 1. There's very little you can do with Dazzle and Tusk against Darkseer. Like, it's very, very difficult, and it was too late by then. I'm pretty sure, didn't Drow already die by that stage as well?
Yeah, they died when they were at middle. But they were standing around middle for a long time, and they didn't actually get anything there. That might have been, maybe if they got something there, it looked like the Dire team were expecting something to happen. I mean, they had their 2 supports rotated to the mid lane as well, with their Shaker and the Jakiro sitting behind the Queen of Pain.
I think Earthshaker played really well.
Yeah.
Like, he, there was a point where they tried to gank mid as well, and he was just sitting there. I think it was the time we were talking about. And he kind of completely sacrificed himself, but could come back into the game eventually. Just because
with the kill of the Dragonite as
exactly.
well.
He was level 1, and then all of a sudden he's like nearly 4. Like, giving up them early kills isn't exactly... Okay, let's see. What's our next game?
Well, we're going to find out what our next game is. In case you're wondering what you're watching, it is, of course, the qualifiers of the international qualifiers for Europe. And we're in round 32 of the, 32 teams left. I think this was a game in the round of 32, meaning that
We're in the
We
round of
might
16.
be in the round of 16,
Yeah.
depending on how many games are still going on or not. But we'll be coming back to you shortly with another game of Dota 2 for the international qualifiers of the qualifiers. We'll see you soon.